also good? Yes, great.
are you both done with the response?
Yes, all done.
All done. Great. Okay. Right. Let's start. Okay. It's ice breaking. Right. Before I actually introduce myself, I would like to know more about both of you. Okay. And with that, okay, I would like to pass you this post-it note. All right. And you can take any of the colors of the pen. Okay. And with that post-it note and the color of the pen that you've just chosen, all right, you can use any color, no worries. Okay. Please describe yourself. Okay. In this post-it note. All right. And I would like you to share later. I will give you another 5 minutes probably for you to actually tell me about yourself in this post-it note. All right. Anything that you can think of about yourself.
Do we need to, how many describe them?
Anything. Yeah. There's no limit to it. We will share what you have in the next 3 to 4 minutes. You can even change the pen color. No worries. Interesting.
It represents what I have written.
Okay. Two more minutes, and after that we're going to share what you have.
life experience of people, I tend to smile to strangers. I smile to anybody because that makes me feel fulfilled.
Alright.
Yeah. So this is one thing about me.
Okay.
And then
Smart.
yes, smart. Second one is I'm a people person.
Okay.
Which means I put people first before me, as long as it does not take a lot of my energy. Because I learn from other people too that we need to put boundaries towards people. But as long as I can do it, I will help people first, put people first before me.
Okay.
But like my family as well lah.
Right.
And then I put here I'm a left-handed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It comes with
Left-handed. So you write left hand.
Yes.
And everything you do with the
Scissors,
scissors. Oh,
eating.
cutting, eating. Oh, alright.
Eating with
Interesting.
When I was a child, I tend to eat
Using your-
using my left
My
hand.
left hand.
My parent taught me to use
Yeah,
my
true,
right hand, so
true.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Only eating with hands, I can use my right hand.
The other stuff you will do.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Alright. Okay.
Okay, so left-handed, they tend to be creative, so I put it together in one sequence to emphasize on the creativity part of it.
Okay.
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 And then I am brave and ambitious.
Okay.
I took challenges, I took risks because I'm curious to know what's going to happen if I don't. It's going to be like a waste, right? So that's why I would like to try. I would like to know about it more. So this is me.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, last but not least, I love books and languages.
Okay.
So I learn languages. Now it took me 5 languages on learning.
What language?
Okay,
You
Malay,
have?
of course,
Right.
English,
Okay.
and then I learn Mandarin.
Oh,
I have a
good.
certificate for that.
Wow.
Yes. Japanese, I have a beginner certification.
Okay.
Yes. And right now I'm learning French.
Oh, interesting.
But just a very basic words only because it's very hard to, your mother tongue is not there, so it's hard to pronounce the word correctly.
Okay.
That's
That's
about
you. Okay, thanks, Dee. Alright, what about you?
Okay, hi everyone. My
Hi.
name is Farina Arni. You can just call me Dee.
I didn't.
Hi,
So
Dee.
I'm gonna tell you everything about me that you need to know.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing, the basic things of myself is I am ENFJ. I used to be ENFP before, but I took the test quite recently and I turned out to be ENFJ. But at the same time, I'm not really extrovert. I'm actually ambivert. Like I tend to be extrovert around introvert people,
was managing a department called change management. So this is actually what we are today, for this training program called managing change journey. All right, ladies. Do you guys understand what is actually change? Yourself, Dini?
I mean, I get the overview of it, the
Okay.
brief of it, the
Alright.
surface level of it, but I don't understand the deep meaning of change itself.
Okay.
And I would like to learn more about it.
All right. Good. And yourself, Dini?
Change reminds me of butterflies.
Butterflies. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right?
Why is
Because
that?
Butterfly from being a caterpillar, ulan, something that people are like, feels like they don't want it in their plants and all that, but
Right.
they can turn into a very beautiful, huge butterfly. Yeah, beautiful is one thing because you cannot expect a caterpillar, something that you don't like to see, suddenly
Right.
turn into a very beautiful. That's a
Right.
big change
Change.
that they have been doing. So
That's what you understand about change, yeah? Okay. All right. So managing change, what I'm going to share today is about the organization change, because change you have in the perspective of a different area, which is a person change, or a company change, or a technology change. So it can be a different area. All right. So managing change journey in an organization, it is more simply adapting. It is about developing the mindset, the skill, the resilience needed to excel in shifting circumstances. All right. I will not go into word by word. All right. I will try to explain to you. Okay. This course objective. Okay. At the end of this session, you will understand on identify concern and issue the need of change. All right. You will illustrate the right tools and the correct techniques on how to do the changes. Okay. And to develop an effective change over plan. All right. Is the plan set. Okay. So these are the course content. We have 4 modules. All right. And the first half we're gonna do module 1 and module 2. Module 1 will be discovering dynamics of change. Module 2 will be the leading through change. Module 3, inculcating culture of change. And module 4, sustaining ongoing change. Alright, so we are into module 1. Alright, when you talk about change in an organization, for example, alright, so what can you think of change management? In the company, there's a change management division, right? So what say you?
hierarchy.
Okay, so that is what you call, that is under structural
Yes.
change. Okay, in yourself?
I think change in any circumstances, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a huge challenge.
Right.
But it's really necessary. It's important.
Alright. Well, like us, being a Muslim, okay, what is actually the resistance that for us to change?
For us to be better.
To be better, right? But is it easy for us to actually? It's not easy. All right. Like change in a person or in a company, you can't do overnight,
Yes.
right? It has to take certain plan, certain steps, certain strategy for you to go to do the changes. All right. For example, I can just give you some example like what I used to be in my corporate days. We do transformation. All right, transformation of a system. All right. How good is your system? How advanced of the technology? But if your people, all right, don't change or do not change the mindset, it will not be success. Right? So at the end of the day, it has to be balance. Balance meaning, in an organization you have your structure, you have your technology, you have your strategy, you have your culture, right? And of course, the main thing is people, right? It's the people that actually contribute to all these changes. Without these people, so people, you have the management level the middle management level and the working level, right? So it's all interactive in order for to make the changes happen, right? Okay, so do you think it's easy for us to do change? Right? Even as a person itself, do you think it's easy for you to change something which is you are so convenient or you are already comfortable with yourself, right?
Because I think change is like one step forward and three steps back.
Right.
It's always, you tend to have rebounds and relapse. It's totally not easy. And it's okay because what? It's a learning progress.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So of course, why do you think that organization need the changes?
To match with the evolving era,
All right.
digitalization and automation.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Yourself?
I think in any organization, we do need changes because we want to adapt to the environment. It's because we need to fix with our surrounding, or else if we stay the same way, how else are we going to grow?
Right. So yeah, why? Because we need to survive,
Yes.
right? You need to survive, and you got to see the current environment, right? Because you have to improve from A to B, B to C, C to D, right? And it will innovate as well in order for it to be succeed. The overall of change, right? So of course it's not easy to do the changes, okay? Like how we have on this module 1 discovering dynamics of change. Of course, what you were just saying just now, defining change, right? You understand? Preparing for change. How do you see yourself or your team, all right? Prepare for that change. Is it easy as ABC
No.
or easy as overnight that you can, okay, when your company decided to do the changes or the transformation, are you going to say that tomorrow I'm coming with the mindset change of the new thing to bring, no, right? Okay.
Denial and rejection.
Exactly, denial and rejection. You're definitely going to get rejection, right? From some. Managing the change. How do you use, the tools or the techniques in terms of managing the change and enforcing the change? This is very important because for you to have the strategy, to plan it out, but then at the end of the day to reinforce the change, that is definitely going to take some time. Okay. Defining change, like what we just mentioned just now, in terms of the clarity of change. Okay, clarity of change, because when the company wanted to do or has planned for a transformation, the change, right? Definitely they need to have a clarity, all right? Because definitely the employee or the staff would definitely going to ask, right? Why do we need change? That normally the question, right? What else? You definitely going to ask, we are very comfortable with the current process or current things that you guys have been doing right now. Why do we need change? Because everything is okay. Everything
Why
seems
did you cover
perfect.
ourselves?
Exactly. Why do you need to trouble yourself, right? So these are the questions normally being probed by the employees, especially when it comes to the company wanted to do the change or the transformation. All right. Second scope for ultimate impact. Evaluating measurable outcome, because whenever you have the strategy and plan, there must be a measurable things, right? For you to measure what will be the outcome from that. All right. Then you have to review the improvement areas, and you cannot be doing everything change at one time, right? You need to have certain element of, for example, okay, probably phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, right? But overall, you need your people to understand why are you going into these phases, right? Okay, for example, in a bank, all right? Definitely they need to do the changes in terms of the technology. Okay, we're talking about last time it was all traditional, right? Applying for loans, opening and saving account. You have to meet, the officer. You need to fill out the form, right? And it's all have to do it manually. from the form, it will go back to the officer, right? And to see whether are you keep, meaning are you able to open up the account or not, alright? And they have to ask you the cash for you to actually bank in order for you to deposit, right? The initial deposit to open the account. Then after that, then only they will see whether are you okay with the amount that they and when you give the cash, then they need to go to the cashier. So these are the process of the traditional. So when the bank into a transformation of automation, for example, so it will simplify the process, right? Simplify the process. But do you think that by simplifying the process, people would understand?
No, not exactly.
We need to guide the people.
Exactly. And how do we guide these people? Through our own people, right? Right? How do you guide the client to actually, because when the client is already used to the process of a traditional, for example, I call it as a traditional process, right? They're used to the process. They walk into the branch and they approach any of the officers and say that, okay, I want to open. So, and suddenly they have to actually shift from that process to something which is simplified or digital. Do you think it's easy?
No, because it's a huge change.
It's a huge change, right? So that's why the person working in the bank, for example, we need to understand the change. Alright? Understand, able to apply, alright? Then only you will be able to get or to make your used to it, then you get your customer to understand the entire process. Right? Okay. Why do they need to simplify? What? Okay, for example, if in a loan application, for example, right? In loan application, how many days normally will take? Last time when we talk about those days.
Those days.
Yeah.
30 days.
30 days is about a month, right?
Yes, took so long.
Took so long. And what about now?
I think less than 14 days.
14 days.
That's a huge change.
It's a huge change, right? And there are certain bank into probably 24 hours or 48 hours.
Online.
Right.
It's very
So,
fast.
so that has been the progression of changes, right? Okay. Alright, so like what I just mentioned just now, preparing for change. So our people, the employee or the company need to prepare for the change. Because when the company has decided to do the transformation, their own people have to be, the mindset have to ready, right? Everything has to be ready. Okay. So assessing organization readiness, that is what I meant just now. Identify where stakeholders are affected. Who will be affected by this change? Meaning the customer. The customer. The customer will be affected. Affected in what way? To make them understand, right? The process has been simplified. Okay. Building trust with workplace ethics. Before you go to that level, you need to, you got to build your trust within your department, right? Within your team, your colleagues, right? So this is what you call building trust with workplace ethics. And then you need to adopt change and learn how to adapt, because it will take time, right? Because you're too used to traditional way of doing things, and for you to change something which is something new, it will take time.
I feel like adapting is the hardest part actually.
Adapting, yeah. Right. For example, I just like to quote this, like we in the Muslim, this is what you call istiqamah. Istiqamah is something that you need to practice, you need to, keep on doing things, right? To make it better, to improve things better, right?
And there will be times where we're on this level and then we go back
Yeah.
back to zero, back to square one.
Right. So yeah. So you need everybody's support. That's why in the company when they decided to do the transformation or the change in terms of process, technology, and all that, then the important is they need to have their people support. You see, without the people support, things would not fall into place, right? Yeah. Okay. Then next, managing the change. How do you manage change? Right? Definitely you need communication. You need to communicate or be transparent to your people.
Communication is the key.
Yeah.
Communication is the key. Correct. And then you need to provide training. You cannot be doing things, something new like you don't know how to do it, right? So the company or the organization has to provide the training, the resources as well, and also the support, right? If let's say you need to go for a training and your boss say, oh no, Jimmy, you can't go for the training. So that means your boss is not giving you the support, the right support,
That's
alright?
how I'm supposed to
To
learn.
learn, correct. So again, these are very important. Engaging employees and addressing resistance. Like how you just mentioned just now, why, who, what, and all that, right? Why we have to change. We are so comfortable with our current things that we are doing. Why? So that kind of question is meaning to address. The company has to address that resistance. Okay? And then establish continuous improvement culture. Alright? When you do something from A to B, for example, what would be, definitely the culture is going to change, right? Probably when you're doing the traditional way of doing things, you may have your colleague to actually, what do you call this? The time, that has been spent, and then after that there will be the shift from the traditional into something new. Definitely you need the support, right? Okay. All right. Then you go to reinforcing the change. Okay. So anticipate challenges, definitely, because not everybody will understand the change and they will accept immediately.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah. So of course you have to anticipate whatever challenge. You're probably from other department will say, no, I'm not going to do this.
Because some people they don't want change because they are comfortable at their own pace.
Right. So, but what do you think of this? Meaning from A to B, when the transformation take place, do you think that what would be the most thing in your mind right now, the challenge that you think that it will take place?
I feel like the most huge challenge that will take place in this situation is people accepting the change because they need to process the information and then they need to change themselves.
Correct.
And everyone is different, so we can get different responses from each of them.
Right.
That's the thing because we don't have our own control of people.
Right.
They need to control themselves.
Right. Yeah. Agree. Anything to add, Lee?
Yeah, I was just thinking, right? Change sometimes, how do I say? One person's attitude. Actually, I was
Right.
about to connect it with one person's attitude, but I quite like the point on your previous slide just now that you are saying something about engaging employees. Yes.
Yeah.
Because when the person they are having their own behaviors and attitude, right? You cannot change them. It's their attitude. But what you can do is engage them.
Right.
When you engage them together, the togetherness is that they feel the inclusiveness and the importance of them being there. That is like very crucial to them before you do the change process. So that they feel
Right.
inclusive.
Yeah.
Oh, I am important.
Yeah.
I will be there. I
Yeah.
will support this
Yeah.
boss because he wants to do all the changes and all that.
Right. Agree. Yes. That's why I said communication is very important. Communicating transparently. You cannot be telling D something else. Then when you communicate to Jimmy is something else. You see, you cannot. It has to be transparent to everybody when it comes to change. Alright, something or transformation.
Or like people would say, honesty is the best policy.
Exactly. Right. Okay. Then, like I mentioned just now, to provide training and support. If there's no training is given, how Right. Okay. Can you write? I give you 3 minutes. All right. In this, okay. I need to answer these 3 questions. Least common resistance to change. Only one. All right. Or probably 1 or 2. All right. And name type of challenges that you think is going to be faced in the company, and then state reasons for a change. Right? I give you 3 minutes of that, okay? Right. I'm amazed with D, writing on the left hand side.
Oh yeah, because you are left-handed, right?
Yeah. Okay. Right, you're done? Good. Okay. I'm interested on what D wrote for states reasons for change. When the world is evolving towards AI and digitalization, that's correct. Because right now everybody is into AI,
Yes.
right?
You can't even see whether one video is genuine or not because
Yes.
it's too perfectly done.
Correct.
There's like this one game where people guess whether if it's AI or not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fail
Because you
that.
can
Differentiate.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is actually the shift. A shift from the normal or the previous technology into AI. Right? AI, everything makes simple now. Everything is in single.
Scary.
But at the same time, it's also scary, right? Like what you mentioned just now, right? It's also scary at the same time. Okay, what Dini has mentioned on type of challenges faced: no transparency in communication, disrupt the whole process, right? Yeah. If I understand what you mean by this is that communication, like what we just give some example just now. You talk to employee A is ABC. You talk to employee B, CDE, and things like that, right? So there's no transparency, right? So it will disrupt the entire process because you want it to be a smooth journey of change. But with that, no transparency, definitely gonna take up time, and things, or the process will be delayed, right? And when there's delay, back to what you just mentioned, cost definitely going to be cost to it, right? So the company or the organization will face certain costs when the delay, for example, you have planned it to be 1 month or 30 days, and when it delays, right? Definitely there's going to be cost. It will take longer, right? Yeah. So your D was mentioning about least common resistance to change because they are too complacent,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what you feel you're at this company?
For this company, actually, I'm quite okay because you know why? We were allowed to develop our upskill our knowledge, and we were allowed to. We will be given the opportunity to grow. So it does not give me the complacent feeling. But what I'm trying to emphasize here is for those people who has been with the company in that one specific position for more than 20 or 30 years, there are this kind of people who doesn't want to move, who doesn't want to even get promoted.
Because they're comfortable.
Yes,
So
they are
comfortable
too
with the
complacent with the seat.
with the position when you're
Yes.
saying.
They don't want to learn new
Yes.
things.
New
It's
things.
an hassle.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a hassle, and they feel like I don't want because this is enough. Some people feel that, so that's why they choose to be that way.
Yeah.
It's
their own
very
choice.
hard for them to change. This kind of people is very hard.
Yeah. But there's always ways for you to change these people. You see? So there's always, because yes, I do understand because I've been doing change management for about 1,200 staff under this whole department of IT. Yeah, in the financial institution. And yes, I agree with you that it's not an easy task, but however, we managed to actually, well, probably we can't say that we changed the entire team, right? But there's more than 50%, more than 60% have actually accept and adapt to the change.
Like what you said, change is not something you can do overnight.
Correct.
So
It will have to continue.
you cannot change the entire.
Correct. Yeah. So there's a lot of plan and strategy that we need to plan out properly in order to get. Because I'm in the change management in terms of the people. You see. So there's a lot of engagement I have to do. In order to get them into to accept the change, right? Because we were doing a transformation of system transformation at that time. You see. So there's a lot of people were they were having a lot of questions like why do we need change and all that. But at the same time, some has gone probably they were decided to actually leave the organization because of the changes. So we need to minimize that problem. So what we do is that the engagement, there's a lot of engagement so that they will be happy.
Yeah.
You see?
But
So they don't need
is costly.
well, there's pros and cons as well in terms of the cost. The company has certain allocation given for the engagement of the staff. Oh, definitely, yeah. But because of the changes that the management have seen, so they decided to actually continue with the engagement activities, right? Okay. So good. You both, all right. So yeah. So a deep understanding on change management that can create a lasting transformation. This is what we want. Okay, you do transformation or you do some changes in order for you to accept and adapt, right? And you continue to do the transformation. So it will be easier. For example, right now you are into AI, right? So probably AI has various phases of AI, right? So you know the basic AI. Then next you go to the intermediate AI. Then you go to the advanced AI. So that means your mindset, you are ready for the changes for the next level.
We're evolving.
Yeah, you're evolving. World's evolving. You see, very fast. Okay. Right. So I have some reference actually in terms of the books. You can take some pictures if you want of the title of the book, right? This is actually can be some of your references, since you guys are also doing change, I believe, yes, right? Into organization change management.
Which one would you recommend the most out of all three?
Jane Anderson.
Videos.
Yeah. Well, three have different perspective of change, but at the end of the day, when I read the three of the books, it's actually come back to the same, which is the people.
Like in the same circle.
Yeah, it's to me. I've been telling the organization from those days, in fact until now, you want to do change, fine. You can spend so much in terms of your technology and all that, but if your people don't change, the change mindset, change attitude, behavior, it's not gonna fall.
Yes.
Yeah, be a
We're
success.
just like about pace, right?
Right. Okay. Okay. So this is the reference. Okay. So I will give you an assignment. All right. You have about 30 minutes. All right, to actually continue to do this assignment. Then after that, we will do, adjourn for a coffee break. Okay. Then we will come back and we'll do it for module 2.
Alright.
Right. Okay. So yeah. And any questions that you have so far?
Okay, so in terms of maybe you can elaborate more in terms of the engaging activities that are suitable to make this one team together, like
Bring it
some
together?
to bring them together, because some people they tend to say when you are wanted to do an activities on the department, right, or that unit, they will say don't take weekends. Weekends is a family time, so weekends is a no.
Yes.
Then we wanted to do during after weekdays and after office hours. We need to go back early. We need to fetch kids. Need to do this. They can even spend one day in 1 week. It's not even 1 day in 1 month, right?
Yes.
It's not even 1 week per week. You're not going to do it per week, but it's also difficult for them, right? So I heard some suggesting to do it during office hours.
Oh,
Yeah. They don't want it.
Well, there's a lot of strategy where when it comes to planning, of course, and it depends on how many of them in your department or your company that you want to get them involved, right? For example, you can list down what are the activities, all right? For example, you're gonna have once a month. All right, once a month activities or engagement, you call it internal engagement. For example, this month will be a CSR program. All right, next month will be a games or tournament, bowling tournament, even now pickleball, pickleball tournament. Something like that. That's something that excites them. All right, sometimes you cannot be doing that something short and easy. I'm so sorry I have to say that, because you have to get everybody involved.
And I also
You
think
see?
it's important to pick an interest on someone else too, because you
Correct.
cannot pick interest that
You like it.
Yes,
This was
right?
voting.
Yeah.
And
So
voting.
what I would suggest is
Like
that you list down few of the activities, and then you do either ballot or voting whatsoever, right? Then you pick the best or the top 1 or 2 activities, right? Then you plan it out in terms of the month. Yeah. Yes, you cannot please everybody, because when you say weekend will be their family, you got to accept that. That is actually the challenges that that we just discussed now. That will be the challenges, right? So everybody has to understand and be open-minded, right? Especially it comes to when people say, oh, I cannot attend because of the family matters. Right? Okay, so give them some suggestion. Okay, if you cannot come this month,
Flexibility.
some flexibility that you need to offer to them. And they will say, okay, probably they're not going to attend 1 time or 2 times, but then on the 3rd time, definitely they're going to come. Trust me. Yeah.
I just wanted to share one experience, regarding these activities engaging activities that we do to the staff.
Right.
You know what? Because of this flexibility, this head of division, he
Right.
needs to allow the family to come together.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be done.
Oh.
That can be done. So yeah.
One room for that one family. You want to bring family? Okay, can.
Is it like a family day or something?
No, it's not actually a family
Oh,
day.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's for the staff engaging only.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
let's just give an example. They need to do the extreme challenge in Malacca Extreme Park. Okay, but they were doing it for their staff only. But because of this constraint of family needs to go with family or whatsoever, this head of division, he allows them to bring their family
Yeah.
to stay together.
Yeah. Do you have any idea why does your HOD do that?
Because he wants this person to still come. He
Right.
doesn't want inclusiveness.
Okay, if let's say
Yeah.
you are the employee, alright, you are the staff, that your HOD allow you to bring your family into that. How will you feel? You're happy. So
Staff
what?
well-being
Okay,
is good.
right. So that means when you're happy, what happens next?
I will follow whatever my boss said.
Okay, alright. So that means that would be easier for you to accept the change, right?
Yes.
So that means your boss, have a better. It's a great idea, you
Yes.
see, but to allow you to bring your family. At the end of the day, you will say, "Wow,
It's a
okay."
way to pull her.
Yeah, it's very easy for the company or the boss to actually pull her to join that activities or the change,
Transformation.
right? The transformation, right? Dee, anything last from you before we adjourn for coffee break?
I feel like, okay, I know that it's hard to change a person's mindset,
Right.
but I feel like if it's very hard to change one person's mindset, I think you as a person also need to adapt with those kind of people.
Right.
Like you cannot just stay where you are. You
Right.
have to learn from them. Like,
Right.
oh, she is that kind of person. He is that kind of person.
Yeah.
So I need to learn how to adapt with those kind of person.
Right.
Because okay, you don't have to think that I'm all good, I'm doing better now, I don't need to change anymore. No, you always need to change for better again and again, because you never know if you may be better for that one person, but in the other person's point of view, you're just staying where you are.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you are right. So I agree with you 100%. Yeah, because it's not for you to get people to follow your way of doing
Yes.
things or your way of style. You see, so sometimes you need to understand that person. You need to understand your people under you. You need to understand your colleague. You need to understand
give constructive feedback.
feedback. But so that's a lot more for me to actually share, But again, because in order for you to get people to understand you, you need to understand people, right? And when you understand people better, or you give some, some good constructive feedback, that definitely they're going to be happy with you and they will accept whatever changes that you bring into the company.
Yes.
Okay, so right, so that is actually a good session that we have, right? And I think that will lead us to the module 2 later part, okay? And all right, so you will complete your assignment, okay? I will give you 30 minutes, and after that you will proceed with the coffee break.
Alright.
Would that be good?
Yes.
Right?
That is it.
Would that be great?
All good, yes.
All good. Okay. Oh, I love this class. Really. This class is really engaging. This is what I like. Two-way
Two-way
participating,
communication.
two-way communication. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
All